Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Trenches. We're here to discuss Week 16 and the NFL season as we grow closer and closer to the NFL playoffs. We're here to, of course, give our predictions and our thought about last week and talk about what came true from before. Can't do this without the usual team. First up, congrats for making the Fantasy League final, the right-hand man, Daryl. What's up, Daryl?
What's good, Mike? Happy holidays. Wrapping up December football. Teams, they separated themselves. About to break it all down.
Yeah, I see you got back on Steeler gear. So feeling good about
it. They got themselves situated, so we're back on the train now.
All right. Another Steeler fan back in the building. My man Toby, what's good, Toby?
What's good, Mike? What's good, Daryl? Congratulations, Daryl, making it to the chip. Steelers Nation, I like the gear. Got a W this week. I'm feeling good. No worries at all.
All right. Last but not least, making the final, the man who we call Lucky Jeff.
The world is right when Mike hate tonight. Everything's gonna be A-okay.
Congrats on the finals and
congrats.
Really
on the easy money invitational. Yeah.
It was almost there. But happy the came from this chat and this podcast. So that's what's up. Moving forward though, or going back, Thursday night football, Rams Seahawks, one of our games that we picked. Seahawks did beat the Rams in OT. I know I picked the Seahawks in that game. And a thriller. Jeff, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I was the only one to pick the Rams. Because I thought they should have won, and they was well on their way. Going into the third quarter, it was 30-14. The fourth quarter, going 30-14. The Rams were basically having their way. Matthew Stafford had 3 touchdowns. At the end of the game, ended up with 457 yards passing. They ran for over 100 yards as well. I just thought the Rams offense was well enough to go ahead against a stout Seahawks defense because I felt like, Sam Darnold would show us who Sam Darnold really was, which he did in the beginning. He had the 2 interceptions in the first half. He was well on his way to prove why the Falcons did not want to give him the large contract last year, going down the stretch. But, in typical Rams fashion, which I think is the only thing that might hold them back from even proceeding into the Super Bowl this year, is the defense. The defense, the line is pretty good, but the cornerbacks, I don't even know who they are. And the Seahawks with JSN and what is the guy named Kenneth Walker III, who had this game of a century, over 80 yards receiving, 100 yards, I think, rushing, 2 touchdowns. Were able to come back and beat the Rams and carry the Seahawks with the momentum they had, keeping this NFC race in one of the tightest ones, probably the best division in football this year, with 3 11-win teams in it. It was shocking to me. Like I said, I thought that the Rams really had this in the bag. I actually hit the snooze button, started going into another dimension. And then I looked up at about midnight, and I'm like, "Yo, what happened here?" And listen, man, the NFL is full of young coaches, and Mike McDonald is one of them. One of those new young coaches that's gonna come in, and he's shocking the league his first year. He's made Sam Darnold look, spectacular in some games. And of course, it's Sam Darnold, but JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba is just out of this world this year. In my mind, he's probably the best receiver in the league this year. Not overall, but just this year in the box. We're going to look at this year. He's leading the league in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. He's top 3. Him and Puka, obviously, up there together. I think Puka surpassed him with this game itself. But, again, we're talking about one of the stout receivers. The Seahawks, they loud on defense. They play hard. They get after the ball. They cause turnovers. The defense is really, really good on all 3 levels. The offense, of course, you got a star number 1 receiver. The running backs have their moments. They're not really, spectacular. They don't have game breakers, but they've done all they needed to do this season to get them amass themselves 12 wins. And it was a great game, honestly. It was the best Thursday night game we've had all year. What do you think? We talking 75 points on the board. Normally those Thursday night games be trash between division opponents. But I was shocked, man. I wanted the Rams to win. Honestly, I did. I wanted Stafford to continue his drought to win the MVP. I think he's well deserving of it. But the Seahawks really said they have other plans. And honestly, the season continues with week 17 and 18. This is going to come down to the wire. But again, I was let down by the Rams defense. And I think the Seahawks, they scary now. They're scary in the playoffs.
Okay, Darryl, your thoughts on that game Thursday night?
Yeah, man, great divisional game, especially late in the year. Definitely thankful for the good primetime game. That's what we've been held to most of the year. I think it's the first Thursday game, both teams came in with 11 wins, so definitely competitive. I think Rams had the chance to take control early, especially after that Cup fumble when it was marching down in that drive, and then really after that, this was the story for the Rams. The defense and the special teams, it couldn't held up the end of the bargain, especially with Adams being out for the Rams. Right after that Cup fumble, defense let up that Kenneth Walker long touchdown. Really after that, it started as the back and forth. Darnold turned the ball over, Rams scored, and really just back and forth made it a great game. I was kind of impressed by the Rams keeping up in a shootout, especially without Adams. Really playing that 3 tight end set with those three tight ends and this Puka really just that's the passing game there right now. They really keep making plays and keep up in the scoring. Really just a crazy game from Puka, really, because of that. Over 20 yards, career game for him. So this showed his greatness right there. Rams, I think they took control back of the game in the third quarter, but again, defense, special teams just not able to close out the game. After that Darnold pick, I think that was like the beginning of the fourth quarter. Right after that, they lit up the Shaheed punt return touchdown, and really after that started the back and forth game, set into overtime, and defense for the Seahawks, they were the ones able to step up at least somewhat. Held the Rams to field goals, and that's what really forced the overtime and forced the last drive for Darnold to take advantage. But really, in all, like if these teams play together again, or face together again in the playoffs, if Rams are healthy and they get Adams back, I see the Rams winning because I did the game multiple times. I feel like they had a chance to win. Really, defense and special teams didn't fall on their. They held it there into the bargain. Like with the Seahawks, I don't believe in Darnold. Even with this last drive, kind of save face for what he was doing early in the game, like with turnovers. So good game for them, especially at home, get the win. But I still put Rams as far as like one of the top teams in the NFC, especially with doing what they were capable to do without Adams today for that game.
All right, Toby, your thoughts on that game Thursday?
Yeah, it was definitely a crazy game. I was at my friend's house, and the fourth quarter started, and I was like, yo, if they scored another touchdown, I'm out, because this game was over. And they scored a touchdown. I dipped off. I got home. I was in bed. I don't remember what time it was, like, because after that, I didn't even pay attention to the game no more. I didn't even watch nothing. I think Jordan had wrote in the chat, like, Seahawks lost. Something. I'm like, Seahawks lost? What? I went back, watched the highlights, and I couldn't believe what I witnessed. It was a crazy game. I felt like that punt return definitely gave that, that momentum swing. That was a momentum swinger. Then the Seahawks defense finally got some stops, because I felt like Stafford was ripping them apart. I think he had like 450 yards or more passing on them, and that's a good defense. So Stafford was ripping them apart, and they got those few stops. Darnold, ended up doing this thing and ended up winning at the end of overtime. Definitely a great win. I picked the Seahawks because I just felt like the Rams wasn't going to sweep them. That's really my only. And I think the Seahawks were at home as well, so home field advantage, and they wasn't about to get swept. So overall, I'm still putting the Rams over the Seahawks. Healthy. I think this is to picky back off what Daryl said. In the playoffs, give me the Rams. They're gonna have Devontae Adams back likely, and Darnold showed us who he was. Like, yo, that game, the first 3 quarters, they were absolutely getting clamped. I mean, Jackson Smith was getting clamped up. I remember he had like a few catches. He was barely in the game until the fourth quarter when the momentum swing. I don't trust Darnold, I feel like I think even the week before this, he had a bad game too. Yeah, he's been honestly going down that trail the last few weeks, before this win of being that quarterback, who, we thought he was. But it's still a good win for them. They'll probably win the division. I got to look at their schedule. I'm not sure who else they have left. They'll probably win it. And, they definitely need that home field advantage. Like, that's definitely going to help Darnold. Maybe he could pull up an upset on because he has a home field advantage possibly. But definitely a good win for the Seahawks. Rams, they just need to get back to doing what they're doing. Hopefully get Adams back and just try to play mistake-free football. I still think they're the better team overall. Puka is ridiculous. He's the best receiver in the league this year as well. Jackson Smith is great, but Puka is he's a different guy. And he's playing with Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, he plays with like some legendary receivers. Like, and he helps those receivers, be even greater because he's a great quarterback. So overall good game, definitely entertaining for Thursday night football.
Yeah, great game. Overall, I agree with everybody's points, especially about Darnold. I think that when the playoffs come and this is raised, that's the lights are bright, I think he's gonna fold. I don't really trust them as they got a good play caller, a good head coach, but still the defense pretty good. But really, Stafford still cooked them. He was defense pretty good. McVay is a good play caller. Sometimes he get conservative to me, like when he be cooking. He did the same thing when he played the Eagles in the early in the season. Like he be up a lot and then he get all conservative. He got to keep the foot on the gas, I feel like, and then he try to turn it back on once the game get close. I don't think he could do that, a lot. Stafford was, again, 457 yards, 3 TDs, no picks. He had a no-look touchdown pass. I still think he should win MVP, even though they lost that one game. His season is crazy. And he's showing, like, again, him and really old man Rivers showing, like, to know how to be a good passer can take you a long way, even without having the wheels and stuff. So I feel like that's good, too. And I do agree, Puka is just amazing, bro. Like, it's crazy. So I felt, and JSN tailed off. He was on pace to like break the record at one point, and then he tailed off a lot. So I was like, I'm not, surprised about that. But yeah, I think if they meet again, which I probably don't even see, but I think the Rams do win a rubber match, and and they'll go from there. But it's not a bad signing for the Seahawks. He's better than Geno, obviously. So I think it's still they can try to build from there. Moving forward, man, one of the games that was, wound up different after Lamar got hurt. Pats come back to beat the Ravens. They're now 12-3, lead the AFC. There, I'll start with you this time. What's your thoughts on that game and those teams right now?
Yeah, another good primetime game. I think Ravens, they took control early. Did what I feel like they're supposed to do is lean on Henry. I think they got a May. I think the first drive for May in the past was that red zone pick. And it really kind of the momentum switch went over to the Ravens. But right after that, Henry, unfortunately, the fumble issue came back to haunt him. I think the end of the first quarter, that really just stopped the momentum for the Ravens and really brought the Patriots back into the game. And with that, I think May at that point he kind of settled down. You started to see like the great pocket throw he was making on time, back shoulder. He wasn't missing after that the first drive. And Lamar, he wasn't really able to keep up with that playmaking in the passing game, and then fortunately he had to leave. And but even when Lamar left, I feel like the Patriots, they still weren't able to really take control of the game until late. The fumble, I think they had a fumble on their end too. I think it was either Drake May or a running back. They had a fumble, and that's what right after that, the Ravens, they got Henry back involved. And then with the Pats, I feel like not having that big play threat from Henderson, he went down kind of early in the game with the concussion. That kind of really just kept things in the mud as far as them not separating themselves. Well, I felt like they was trying to do throughout the game, but really just here and there, either a mistake or a fumble or a turnover early on kept the Pats at bay and kept the Ravens involved. But eventually, Pats he really settled in. He kind of, we're going to talk about the MVP rankings later, but this was an MVP kind of moment for him as far as starting off slow, making a mistake, but getting settled in and doing what needs to do to take advantage. Him and Stephon Diggs had a great game. He's really stepped. The stats don't really say it, but he's really showed out as the number one receiver, like the true leader, someone he can lean on throughout the year. I definitely lean on in this game. Towards the end, for whatever reason, the Ravens went away from Henry. I know that fumble was early in the first quarter, but that fourth quarter he was on the bench and next to Lamar for some reason. That was weird, and especially with Lamar not in the game. to put all that pressure on the backup quarterback, that was weird. Questionable coaching to me. And really, that kind of really the deciding factor, where it kind of changed the energy at that point, because backup couldn't keep up with May playmaking, and it's really decided the game for me. And really, this game and the next game we'll talk about really it's solidified the true contenders in the AFC. I think this is a important win on the road for Drake May, being not that much experience, to get a comeback win right before the playoffs like this. And the Ravens, I mean, as far as like true contenders, after this weekend, we got the 4 division leaders in AFC, and after that we got the Bills, Chargers, Texans. Other than that, I don't think the Ravens, they haven't played to the level of those other teams to put themselves in that conversation. So this is one of the games where it's a statement win, separated the contenders from the unfortunate right now. But yeah, I like what I saw from Drake May. We're gonna talk about the MVP rankings in a bit.
Toby, your thoughts on the Pats and the Ravens, man? So they're not
good game overall, entertaining game. Lamar went out hurt, so when Lamar went out hurt, in my head, I just knew there was no way that the Pats were going to lose that game, even though it was competitive and close for the most part. Zay Flowers' fumble in the fourth basically ended their dreams, and that was a costly fumble. Derrick Henry, like Daryl said, was on the bench. Who knows why? Maybe they wanted to, chalk the game. Who knows? It doesn't look like they were trying to win at that point, especially with the backup quarterback in. Drake May had an early pick, but he bounced back, had a decent game. They almost lost. They could have lost this game if Lamar played. And I remember a few weeks ago, everybody was thinking this like so unbeatable, and this because they were on the winning streak and stuff. But Drake May is impressive, but I still got to see him in the playoffs. I feel like I'll be able to really judge him then. But I'm just happy that the Ravens lost. For the Steelers' sake, I have no problem with this loss at all. If we needed to, secure the playoffs for my Steelers, but yeah, overall good game. The Pats are a very impressive team overall. I'll give them their credit this season. Very impressive. And the Ravens, it's been a horrible season, especially like Lamar started off the season, he got hurt, came back and gets hurt again. So this is one of those years where the AFC is wide open, and we'll see what happens. But it was a good game.
Jeffrey, your thoughts, man?
Man, I had the Ravens winning this game, and I think they should have won this game, even with Lamar going out. Let's talk about the fourth quarter. The Ravens went up. They scored a touchdown. It went 44 yards down the field. It made the score 24-13. And then what's crazy is that they kicked the ball back to the Patriots, and then Drake May marched 73 yards down the field in 3 minutes and threw all passes, no runs. He scored another touchdown, made it 21-24. So I think that I was shocked that the defense kind of let him just go down the field all crazy like that. And that was the part, because the Ravens defense had started to play a lot more better. And even Lamar was already out of the game at that point. So I figured, it wasn't like they had like the wind knocked out of them because Lamar was gone. That drive was actually the turning point of the game, because like I said, up 11 points, and then you kicking the ball down. He marched down the field and scored. And the next possession, the Ravens end up having a punt. And I definitely don't know what was going on with the Derrick Henry issue there, because he had already had a mass 128 yards on 18 carries and 2 touchdowns. He actually scored the last touchdown, like really carried the whole load. So I don't know what was going on. And honestly, you can't say they were trying to tank, because they really had a legitimate chance of still being in the division, which they still do. But again, this was they give them a more like a catapulted them a little bit, has some momentum. But Drake May, like I said, he marched down the field, 73 yards, bought the game 21-24. The Derrick Henry thing was a little bit weird, but the key thing I noticed, Zay Flowers fumbles a lot. He fumbles a lot. He fumbled last year in the playoffs against the Chiefs, trying to dive into the end zone, fumbled the ball, boom, they punched it out. So that's something I think he need to work on, especially in clutch moments and games that they need to win. That's a rhetorical thing. He's fumbling often in these moments. Listen, and again, like I said, I thought the Ravens had him. I felt like the Ravens were the more desperate team. They would come out with more energy. They would hit harder. It was in Baltimore. It only made sense for them to come out and take care of business, but they didn't. And that's the thing that, it's upsetting. And again, I'm not a Lamar hater, but he just never gets it done. Like, even when he went out, he was 7 for 10 for 110 yards. Like, come on, bro. This is
7 for 10 good. What you talking about?
110 yards in the third
quarter.
It
was halftime, wasn't it?
Come on, bro. I need more. It's a must-win game. Like, you gotta win. They already know they've been taking the ball out of Henry's hands because his fumble issue, they just haven't really had that much confidence. He was balling. You had the defense coming up to close out in the box. Lamar should have been going over the top, killing him, but he wasn't. And it's just I don't know what's going on with this dude. I mean, like I said, he just doesn't show up when it matters the most. Like, and it's just he just emphasizes that and blows it up even more every time he has these moments. So, it was a hell of a game. I think the Patriots took advantage of the opportunity, seized the moment in that third quarter with that drive down the field to swing momentum. They continued their season. I mean, I guess do we list this as a game they beat winning opponent? I mean, is that what we do for this game against the Ravens? Is this one of those games where we say they beat a good division, a good opponent? Because their schedule's been soft all year, really.
No,
yeah.
Still soft.
They got a couple wins against good teams, but do we list it?
I think they got 2 wins against teams over 500.
Yeah, like so. Is this one of them too? Like, it's a contender possibly. So again, but this is a momentum. And with the Drake May thing, I think, like I said, he's a poised young quarterback, man. I think Mike Vrabel has set the culture inside the locker room. He has everybody playing their position. I love Stephon Diggs there being the leader. I see him on the sidelines. He's talking to other receivers and players. I think they got the recipe this year to really possibly bring the Lombardi home. Who knows? But this was just a game for Ravens, and I think they had to win, and they didn't do it. I don't know what's going on with the Derrick Henry thing, but it was just all spooky to me.
Yeah, I agree with all that. Yeah, I think on the broadcast, Collinsworth was like, "Yo, the Pats must be thanking the Ravens for not playing Henry right now in the fourth quarter. He was cooking them.
Yeah,
he got that last touchdown, and it was crazy. I don't know why they set up for what's the name, Mitchell or whatever.
Yeah, it's like Mitchell, something like that.
Yeah. He get hit in the backfield like it was crazy. I told y'all about Drizzy Drake and the Pats 6 weeks ago, man. The dude is nice. Pats is nice. Again, Toby, I think he's the best QB out of that draft. When we're going to see if it's proven. I think last year's draft. I think that I don't know if he'll win MVP or not, but again, I think that strength of schedule might hurt him, like Jeff was saying, because there haven't been a lot of great teams. But Stephon Diggs being a veteran receiver helps him a lot. He fires up the team. You saw him on the sideline when they were down. Can't keep your chin up. Like, we won't come back in his games. He's a great veteran for him. To have, like, he'll remember Stephon years down the line. He's still playing and Stephon's gone. I like the way the team is built. Defense can get a little better, but they got Josh McDaniel. And like I said, I think the other week, like, McDaniel's already had his head coaching time. He ain't gonna be a head coach. You know that now. So now he's going to be an OC in New England, which he loved living there anyway. His kids grew up there. So now he's going to be Drake OC probably for the next 10 years. Yeah. So Drake is good with Josh. Drake and Josh, matter of fact. And now he got, which is crazy. And then Vrabel, who also loved New England, you know what I mean? So it's just all tied together. It's like
he called a defensive play, so he got that covered.
But didn't he turn down a different job to go to New England? Like, I thought he was going somewhere else, and he pivoted and was like, "I'm going back here."
Because Robert Kraft, that's his man. You know what I mean? So they good. Now the ball got hurt, right? The running back, I think.
Henderson.
Yeah. But Stevenson, all right too, though. Like, you know what I mean? So they all right, man. And as far as the Ravens are concerned, Harbaugh should be fired. I've been saying that too all season. Harbaugh.
If that was his decision for the Henry shit, then
Harbaugh.
That's unexplainable.
Him and Lamar, their time is done. Again, if a QB and coach don't win a championship within 7 years, they're never going to do it. It's never happened before. They're not going to win a championship. Harbaugh need a new. He's been in like 18, 19 years now, something like that. Right. Like, it's time for him to dip. Zay Flower, like they can't develop receivers that are good receivers. Andrews now he getting old. He the best weapon still.
What was that thing he did?
Right,
he tried to do the 360 toss.
He always be fumbling too in the club.
That's the
right.
That's the whole team.
Yeah, he fumbles. He drop passes. It's a lot with them. And then Henry, like, you going, like, last year was still great. This year, a little less. How much time you going to have left? Will be 31, about 32 years old now. He's a running back with a lot of miles. So now you're going to lose that running aspect, that you had before. They got a whole identity shift to build. Harbaugh got to go. And then I like Lamar, and I don't know how hurt he is or not, but I don't think he ever, to Jeff's point, going to get back to the heights he was at when he was in his MVP season. So I don't know what's going to happen around them. Hopefully they lose out, and we'll see what happens. But the Pats, they're on their way. Moving forward.
Jordan Love, he practiced today. He's on practice.
He good, you think?
If he practiced this week, it's a good sign. So.
He always banged up.
Jags. My man Sunshine, 11-4. and they beat up on the Broncos. And they the last 4 weeks he been cooking, bro. 14 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. They average 35 points a game. How you feel? I will come back to Jeff. You start Jags and Broncos, man.
Listen, man, I think that this was an important game for the Jags to win. Against a basically one of the top AFC opponents. And listen, Sunshine looked super comfortable in the pocket yesterday.
Yeah.
He was getting the ball out fast. He was hitting the receivers on the numbers. A low key person I think that they was good for them, Jacoby Myers. For some reason, he allowed them he gave them some sort of like subtle confidence that he can go out there and make plays when they need him to do so. I mean, look, they ran the ball for 81 yards. Threw for ball 265 yards. That was pretty good. And listen, with a team like this, right, the Jaguars, they've got talent that they've amassed over all these drafts. And honestly, what this shows me is like, are the Broncos really ready? The Jaguars were there. What 2 years ago they went into the playoff. They went up on the Colts. It was like 31 points or something like that, and they came back on them. Like, did they learn? That was the Dougie P era. If you ask me.
Yeah.
Liam Cohen, he really got Sunshine playing a whole different type of football, man. He's running the ball more. He's kind of like getting 200, 300 yards, 50 yards rushing. He's kind of making him a dual threat, a sense where the linebackers have to come up into the box because they fear him running for the first down. They got the running backs with ETN. They got receivers. BTJ might not be the prime receiver we thought he was, but like I said, him, Myers, Parker Washington. Where did we find this guy yet? Like, they just bring people in, and he on the burner right now. He hot right now, so that's good. And listen, the Jaguars defense. We knew they was nasty for a long. On 3 levels, they got ballers, right? And that's the thing that carried them. This game showed me right here that they was really going to dominate the Broncos at the line of scrimmage. The Broncos didn't really have much of a running game, resorting to have to throw the ball with Bo Nix. And Bo Nix is a good coach. A good quarterback. But you know what I'm saying? When you're playing downhill against a team like the Jaguars, who really kept them on their heels the entire time because they were converting first downs every single time they got in third down position. I think on third downs, the Jaguars probably were like over 50%. To be exact, the Jaguars were 8 for 15 on third down. So that's about 50%. So you convert in half of the time you get into a third down possession. What's going to happen there? Listen, I don't know what we're going to see from the Jaguars. Sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down. It's really inconsistent sometimes, but the formula they have, they ran the ball 27 times. They kept them balanced, 3 yards a carry. It's kind of what you want to see is where you commit into the run and you throwing the ball when you want balance on the team. As far as the Broncos, it's hard to really know what's going on. The time of possession was close. The penalties probably killed them. They had 6 penalties for 61 yards. Most of the time, you lose the penalty game or in the turnover game, you're gonna lose. The Broncos had a fumble loss and an interception, so it was something bound. I like to see these two teams play again, but this right here was a display of how good the Jaguars can be when they have everything clicking at the same time, going along with a good defense, head coach, and the quarterback play was solid.
Okay, Toby, your thoughts on the Jags Broncos, bro?
This was a pick 'em, and I was really tempted to pick the Jaguars because I'm superstitious about things. Broncos, I think they won like 10 or 11 games in a row. I'm like, they're bound to lose a game eventually. I seen the Broncos were at home, and I'm like, I'm gonna give it to them at home. Eventually, Sunshine came into town and he lit them up. He's been playing great. I think they're like 6 games in a row now, 6 or 7 games in a row now. They're looking good. They beat a great defense. He threw 3 touchdowns. He ran one in. He had about like 275, I think, passing. He's playing great football right now. He went against a team that's been on a winning streak, so he beat a very good team. When we comparing we just talking about the Patriots. Do they have any good wins? The Jaguars, this is an amazing win. You just went into Denver and you beat Denver at home. They're supposed to have one of the best defenses in the league, and he ripped them up. So this was very good for them. On the Jaguar side, they're heading in the right direction. They've been great, way better than I thought this season. Especially like early on in the season, I didn't think there was, they stumbled a little bit in the first few games, and now they just been on a roll. So when it comes to Trevor Lawrence, last time I seen him in the playoffs, he was a disappointment. So I'm giving him this new opportunity because when he first got drafted and he's in the league, I thought he was a good quarterback. I thought he played good, and he had a first good season. The second season was trash, and I think what's his year now, 3 or 4, maybe 4th year he's in. So this is an opportunity for him to prove himself again. Them getting Jacoby Myers, like Jeff said, was huge for them. They got another weapon. They got 2 solid running backs to hand it off to. Their defense is good. They're solid. So at the end of the day, he's going to come out to Trevor Lawrence. What can he do in the playoffs? You know, if he does all he could do and the defense is just nowhere to be found, then cool. But if he folds, then we're going to hold it against him. Denver, on the other hand, I feel like Denver, they've been in some close games, you know, I know last week, I don't think they beat Green Bay pretty, the game was close for a little bit, but then they pulled away eventually. But I remember they barely beat the Raiders. Let me see, who did they barely beat? They barely beat the Raiders. They barely beat the Commanders before that, you know, they barely beat the Chiefs. Both of their Raider games are close. So the Broncos have some weaknesses, especially in offense. I'm not a huge Bo Nix fan. I feel like he plays good complementary football. You know, when he has the running game, he has the defense right there. I don't know if he can take it to that next level yet. He's still young, so we're going to give him time. But, you know, a lot of their close game this year, I remember the one game they came back and they beat the Giants. Giants was beating them by like 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. They came back and they won. So they had the ability to come back. And I feel like that comeback ability, even though it's a good thing to have, it shows resilience. The fact that they keep going down, it didn't work this week because they had a defense that was clamping them up. So Denver, you know, definitely have a good thing going on, but, you know, they still have, I feel like, more steps to take. Maybe, you know, New England's bending them. I would like to see that matchup in the playoffs. New England and Denver would be a good matchup. But overall, good game for Jacksonville. You know, good game for Trevor. They pulled the upset up. I know they destroyed that spread, that whatever it was. They destroyed it because they beat them by double figures. So, yeah, definitely a good W for them.
Actually, wasn't they on try to break the sack record?
They were in the beginning of the season, first 6 games.
Who, Denver, right?
Yeah.
Daryl,
your thoughts on the Jags and Broncos?
Yeah, important win for the Jags, like I said. I think the Jags just needed this more. I feel like the Broncos, they had an important win last week against the Packers that just give them confidence before the playoffs. And I feel like the Jags needed it just like that, a game just like that. And confidence is key, just like what Jeff said. That's the big difference I see in Lawrence from this year to previous years. last year's with Dougie P. I just feel like him and the entire team, they just were unsure of themselves as far as what they wanted to do. This Jags team, they have a true identity. They have a purpose. They know exactly what they want to do, and it's all about just going out and executing. And we're seeing that, and we're seeing Lawrence like ball out with really just non-household names. Like Etienne, he showed promise in college and when he first got in the league, but I guess with that recent coaching staff, I don't know what it is, but this coaching staff leaning on the run and staying with the run helped out his career a lot. But other than that, not too many household names, but they're still balling out. Parker Washington, like Jeff said, crazy game, crazy yards after catch. Like it was just a lot of the times where Lawrence, he just get the ball in his hands. He was break free. I don't know what that happened with the Broncos tackling, especially on the on ATNs when he was making plays, just bad tackling on the Broncos side. But yeah, Jags took advantage. It was a definitely important win. Like I said, games like this and wins like this time of year to separate the contenders from non-contenders. The Broncos definitely a contender, but I feel like this kind of with Bo Nix. I like what they got. RJ Harvey, he's stepping up after Dobbins went down. I like Sutton, and they got a plethora of young good receivers after him. But I feel like Broncos might be on the bottom tier of the AFC contenders. And if Lawrence is playing like this, he's putting the Jags, especially with that defense, he's putting themselves on the top half of the contenders. But definitely an important win for them.
I agree with I agree with everything that y'all saying. Broncos, I worry about Bo Nix in the playoffs. Again, when things start to revel up, the defense is good, but it tells me how good the offense been playing for the Jags. And you're right, Jacoby Myers, man, and that's why they signed him now for the 3-year deal.
Yeah,
like they know he's gonna be good for him. And with BT, it's a good Now I don't want to know what they're gonna do with Hunter when he come back next year. If they're gonna put him in the slot or try to have him play both ways still. I would put him at just cornerback, me personally, and let him do the defense. But
I put him at receiver. He was starting to come on as a receiver before he got hurt.
That core together, him, BT, and Myers, could be nasty.
Throw Washington in there too now.
Strange. Sheesh.
Yeah.
But so you're gonna put him at receiver with 4 other receivers, where he can play all cornerback.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's gonna succeed that much at receiver, especially he's not the number 1, maybe
or
not
2.
the number 2.
Yeah.
Put him
You
at
know, that
corner.
could be
Let him
number
rock out.
2, number 1. He had no second round pick. He had number 2 pick.
Yeah, but is he really? Honestly, I don't really believe in him that much as a receiver. But
He's showing flashes to me this
Just
year.
don't wax. Don't worry. We'll see.
He was always a better corner to me, and I want him to, on that side of the ball if it's me personally. But also, again, if they're gonna spread the ball any goddamn way, I'd rather have him where I could play him a corner. But that's to me. We'll see. But as far as this year though, they're good. Like you said, Jeff, the defense is really really good. Liam Cohen has changed their identity. He's made Lawrence a better quarterback. Dougie P probably was already washed, unfortunately. So he had to go get up out of there, which he did. He's old too, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the old dudes don't look to the young guys a little bit. So I feel like that was a good switch up. And now, sky's the limit for them right now, man. 11-4 and beating that and going on the road in Denver and beating that team the way they did. That's a good springboard win for them, man. So shouts out to Sunshine and that team for that. And again, as far as Denver is concerned, I like their defense. I just don't trust Bo Nix. So, I mean, I like Bo Nix, but in the playoff game, again, it's going to be experienced. Like, the AFC is wide open. And besides Josh, it's kind of all younger, newer quarterbacks, except for old man Rodgers, whatever like that.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, you never know. So, we're going to see. And Rodgers going to get in there. And with that segue, the Steelers beat the Lions to keep first place. You know what I mean? What can I say? We cooking. Darryl, what's your thoughts on the Steelers and Lions, man?
Yeah, man, I love watching this game, man. Definitely unexpected how it went down, but definitely appreciative of the win. Didn't expect us to shut down these Lions playmakers like this. Like Jahmyr Gibbs, like 2 yards rushing, Montgomery 14-yard rushing. Like, didn't expect that. Definitely like the consistency we're seeing from the defense, especially without TJ Watt these last 2 games. Like, we all know the record, but when he doesn't play, he's been flying around. Coaching, they I don't know what happened after that rough stretch, but they got it together. I guess watch film, changing. I guess what's best as far as especially in clutch situations on third down, better on that, getting off the field and playing complimentary football these last few weeks. Before last game, this was our first like back-to-back wins since like September or something like that. So playing good football at the most important time of the year. Definitely what I've been hoping for, this consistency all throughout this whole year. And it's good to see that we're starting to see it at the most important time of the year. And this game really showed like the value of having a veteran quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, like seeing him really can take control of the game, having the defense get stops, giving him the ball back, or having a run game like Warren and Gainwell. They went crazy. Warren had 2 45-yard touchdowns. Offensive line and offensive line is hurt too. We're down our top 2 left tackles. Sayamalu, the vet for that group, the left guard, he was down. I think I hurt this game, but the guy stepping up, making plays. Gainwell, like I said, he's been the MVP for the Steelers throughout this entire year. That catch was crazy. That whole play, I think I'm not sure if they're following the Steelers for like for whatever, but they showing like clips of like after the game, like almost like a Hard Knocks type of production. But they showed like before that snap, after the snap. Rodgers, he told Gainwell just to go break out, go run a go route, and led to the touchdown just right off of that. So just having that Rodgers making those decisions, getting guys to the right place, it's a good sign to have. Especially we're seeing with the AFC a lot of quarterbacks going on their first playoff run. So having that in our back pocket, if the defense can do what we're doing as far as flying everywhere, getting to the ball, not having these big plays. Taking advantage of that and just relying on this run game. I like where we're at. As far as the Lions, it's a fortunate year. It's a lot of reasons why, especially just them not playing well. They got hurt again. Second year in a row they had dealt with injuries, and it's really the Bears and a couple other teams that's having great years all contribute to them possibly not making the playoffs. And I was looking, they were talking about like the contracts they got coming up. They still got to pay Gibbs. They got to pay a linebacker, I think Jack Campbell. So we might have seen the best of this version of Lions because they're gonna have some tough decisions to make up as far as keeping this window extended. But I don't know. I like what I've seen from the Steelers. It sucks that the DK suspension got upheld, but I don't think we need them. There's no reason why we shouldn't take care of business against the Browns next week. Packers, they should get a win against the Ravens, especially if Love plays And worst case scenario, we can beat the Ravens last game of the year. So I like what we've done as far as the consistency in the month of December. And we're going to see what happens, especially how that playoffs. I want to avoid playing the Bills. I don't want to see Josh Allen that week. I want to play Chargers week 1. I feel like I feel good about them week 1 in the playoffs.
Yeah, you real far ahead, huh, Daryl? I see you.
Yeah, I was
talking about week 1 matchups and shit like that. We got 2 weeks.
The division is wraps. The division is wraps.
Man, niggas about 2026 season already.
Right.
The prognosticator and shit.
Right. Wow. Jeff, what's your thoughts, man, on the Steelers and Lions, man?
Hey, this game, this game was interesting. This was a telling sign of 2 things that actually occurred with this game in itself, if you ask me. For one, I'm just like, damn, the Lions, they this over. Like the window's done. I think we watched the best of it be the best. The last thing I can remember is the Jared Goff concussion non-call that he went out of the game against the Commanders last season, and that cost him that, and that might have been it. But you know what? The Steelers played well. The Steelers they're actually playing playoff football. They're playing really good complementary football. They're playing at their pace. They're playing how they want to play. They're not forcing things. They're punting the ball when they need to. Let the defense make stops, so forth and so on. They're playing really good complementary football. I think this game came down to the 4th quarter. I mean, let's be for real about it. Like, the Steelers had a chance to really make it tougher when they missed the field goal. They had a chance to put a 37-yard field goal from Boswell. He banks it right off the upright. Boom. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. But then you turn around, the Lions go down the field. Lions go down the field. The last play was kind of nuts. I'm not a fan of the pass interference against Amon-Ra St. Brown. Come on. I mean, Jalen Ramsey, he sold that really well. He must have went to LeBron School of Broadcasting. And that was interesting. But, I think that was a little bit too close to call. This was a really good game. The safety in the 3rd quarter was kind of weird to me, too, that Jared Goff took. Making it 12-10. The Steelers went down, kicked the field goal. Then they went down and scored again. I was shocked that they didn't run the ball. I mean, 12 rushes for a team with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Like, I don't care how bad the running is going. You just stick with it to make them commit to it, and then you kind of see how they play off of that or run the play action, which Jared Goff is excellent at play action. But you know what I think the problem is? Dan Gamble. As soon as he took over the play calling, he just started rocking his jock strap on his shoulder. And I don't know what's up with this dude because he's not a play calling kind of coach. If you ask me, I thought he was a defensive minded coach anyway. So that's really been the Achilles heel of the Detroit Lions, if you ask me. And this game was a telling sign of it. I mean, again, to not commit to the running game, only 12 carries when you got 2 of the more dynamic backs in the NFL. No matter what you're getting stopped, you still got to create the balance. On the other hand, damn, Jaylen Warren and they got to do it. They might have a dual little thing over there in Pittsburgh. They got Warren who went off last week, and then this week Gainwell went nuts. So you got a lot working right there with Aaron Rodgers, and I think that benefits Aaron Rodgers a lot because if he don't see what he's looking for immediately, he needs to check it down to somebody. And those 2 running backs can actually make guys miss. They're shifty, they're fast, they're able to get yards. Maybe not break home runs because they do break home runs, but in the sense that he can't get anything downfield, they can get those 5 to 7 yard catches that turn them in a couple downs, first down. I am against Daryl with this one. I think that missing DK Metcalf is going to be a problem. With it, you already were having issues because you only had really 1 receiver. And honestly, you look at this game. They tried to give Washington the chance, and he fumbled, right? I think the tight end, number 80, he fumbled the ball moving down the field. So that's one less guy that Aaron Rodgers probably can trust when he gives him the ball. Without DK, it could be a problem, man. I mean, Calvin Austin has never really shown us that he was that slot guy or second receiver that we needed, that you guys needed. So I don't know. And honestly, this division isn't wrapped up. So I don't know if easily beating the Baltimore Ravens is something you can even say because the Baltimore Ravens look like they've already put the paws on the New England Patriots, who is actually a really good team as well. So just not really sure where it stands. This next week coming up against the Cleveland Browns, which you should win, because Shedeur, he hasn't really been showing the Shedeur talent we thought. But this is going to be a telling sign. As far as the Detroit Lions, they are still in the run for their division, I think. I think they're about 8-7, but again, this is the end of them. We've already seen the max of them. I don't know how they blow this up. Maybe they trade Jared Goff for another quarterback. They got the same the way they got Stafford there and Goff switched over, so we're gonna figure that out. But this was a good game for the Steelers. They showed the diversity. They were balanced. The defense actually kind of showed up in some sense too. So hopefully it carried forward.
Go just for the DK thing, just for the sake of either beating the Browns or Ravens. What makes me confident, I like what I saw at MVS 2 weeks ago. Not this game, he was kind of quiet. this game. And also Adam Thielen, he has some clutch third down catches. So I like that veteran presence just to get one more game this year.
Nah, bro. You need some playmakers. Them niggas ain't playmakers. Adam Thielen was on the couch.
John we got fire moves. Still got 2 running back. We good. Playmaking wise, we good.
Man, I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
DK hasn't been lighting it up.
He has a threat, though, man.
He has under 1,000 yards. He doesn't lead us in catches. Like he's not like a.
That's like yo, I got a car and I'm gonna take one tire off and I'm gonna still drive that bitch down the street. You're not. It's not going anywhere. Like, nah. He's just still the threat of him being on the field. It makes it good for Aaron Rodgers because he's a big target and he might not ball out, but he can go to him when he's in the pressure clutch moments.
All right, so what's your thoughts, Toby?
My thoughts is it was an at the end of the day, it was an impressive win. I never, seen this one coming. Us playing the Lions, with the Lions were at home. I'm thinking, we're gonna lose this game. Like, there's no way we're gonna win this game. And we went there, we did it. We pulled up, we did the impossible. Jeff said we don't have playmakers. We have playmaking. We have playmaking running backs. I mean, did you see Kenneth Gainwell's touchdown when he was literally on the floor? I mean, he's been the like I think Daryl said, the MVP. Him and Warren have been our MVPs because they can catch the ball out the backfield, especially Gainwell. And then, Jaylen Warren just running on that Lions defense. I forgot, what I didn't take into account? I mean, offensively, we have up and downs, but it really opened my eyes to see how trash that Lions defense is. They have a lot of injuries, and I feel like they've been injured the last 2 years. Like, they always have injuries, but we really had our way with them, especially if we have our way with you running the ball, bro. Like, I feel like your defense is very bad because we're not that great of a running team. Even though we got Jaylen Warren, he's like, he could catch him and get Kenneth Gainwell. They're there because they can run, but they mainly can catch the ball, and take it to the house. And Jaylen Warren, 2 long runs, gets it down the field, scores. I think the Lions, piggyback what Jeff said, I think they should have ran the ball more. They barely had, I think, Gibbs has 7 carries. Like, how does Gibbs have 7 carries in the entire game? Like, that's kind of weird to me. Golf threw the ball like 52 times. They went in Golf to win them the game. To me, I never was a fan of Golf, so Jeff was talking about maybe they got to blow up and trade him. Hey, you're not going to win with him, and you're probably not going to win without him. So it is what it is. But overall, that's an impressive win. I never seen it coming. The first time the Lions lost back-to-back games since 2022. That was another reason why I was like, we're probably not going to lose. Because I think the Lions lost last week to the Rams. Was it? They lost to the Rams too? And there's come, two back-to-back games. DK, what he did was so dumb. But luckily we play the Browns. We should be able to beat the Browns. The Packers should beat the Ravens, and we should secure the division. But it was so dumb of him to do. But, we still have a long way to go. We have to get into the playoffs, and we have to win a playoff game. We cannot lose in the first round. Shout out to Mike Tomlin. I think he secured 19 or 20 seasons without having a losing record. That's impressive. Even though I have my love and hate relationship with him, but to have that, I'm really happy for him. A black coach at that. You know what I'm saying? To be in the record books like that, definitely happy. For him, a Steelers fan, and hopefully he could do something in the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers. I always said the whole season, Aaron Rodgers was never the problem with this team. You know what I'm saying? It's the pieces that they have around Aaron Rodgers. And now look, DK's out. Now who's our receiver? Adam Thielen, Marquez, Van Scott, they wasn't even on our team in the beginning of the season. Like, we just signed these guys recently. You know what I'm saying? So they have not helped A-Rod. And the fact that we still have a winning record. Shout out to A-Rod, shout out to Mike Tom. Our defense, they've been playing a little bit better. I think they slowed down the Lions, decently. Even though Golf still went off, didn't throw a pick. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. When it really matters. Because I need them to be that defense that we pay for. Hopefully we get T.J. Watt back. I don't know how long he's out for, but on to the next game. We got to beat the Browns and secure the playoffs. And definitely an impressive W. Like, one of the most impressive W's of the entire season, easily. Easily. So.
Oh man, look, DK got 850 yards. The next guy 410. I'm just saying.
Look at the running back. See how we doing it. This is about coaching. These are about the running back.
I'm just talking about
got 8-9 wins. We doing our thing, and that's on the GM. Like, why is DK? Okay, DK is he a number one? Maybe, but the second guy shouldn't be Calvin Austin for majority of the season.
It's Kenneth Gainwell.
No, exactly, the running back. My
point to Daryl, bro. It's terrible, man.
It's terrible, and but we've been somehow making it work, and I just want to get to playoff and win a playoff game. That's my goal for this season for Mike Tomlin. Get to the playoffs and win a playoff game.
Daryl gonna understand the presence of DK in 2 ways this week.
No, we should be able to still beat Cleveland because Shedeur. I still like Shedeur.
More you on the bench,
but we have a good defense is still good enough. We should still stop Shedeur. We should still get a pick off him. We should still score some touchdowns. That Browns defense.
That defense is lit.
Yeah, but we could still score them. They can score on.
You're rushing the game.
Miles Sanders gonna be chasing the record. He's chasing the record. He got 1 sack.
Congrats.
That's
trash.
fine.
Still trash.
That's the overall they can still be high. Like Tennessee just put up 31.
You're right. I'm not even disputing any of that. Are y'all gonna put up 31?
We don't need to. We're gonna beat them.
Like, y'all gonna put up 31?
Like
y'all ain't 31.
20-7, 20-10.
On the record.
Jeff the biggest hater, man. Listen, man. Again, let's go back to the great win against the Detroit Lions, who were scratching and calling for a playoff spot, and we kind of took their life away for that playoff spot. I agree with Jeff about Dan Gamble. We always had the same issue with him, and now he play calling even worse. So now he play calling and he making those gambles. So it's like a bad. If he's called, we know he calling the plays. So if he called those plays that had that little bit of running game for Jahmyr Gibbs, so he's a premier running back, he should be fired too, because that's ridiculous. And it wasn't like the game did get close at some point, so I don't know why they didn't run the ball. That's their bread and butter, to be honest with you. Golf didn't play horribly either, but it's just that, again, I think their window's closed. I've been saying it. And now they let Chicago in the division, them get to be a pretty good team. And they stole Ben Johnson from them, and now they got their play caller in Chicago. And now all of a sudden, Caleb looking good. So it's bad. They got the same system. They run two running backs. We'll get to them later on, but basically, Ben Johnson doing the same shit. He's better than Dan Gamble at it. So I feel like that they're shot with those teams. With the Steelers, yeah, shouts out Jeff. Another winning season for Mike Tomlin, for Mike T. A record that will never be broken. I just want to put that out there. Even though they thought this year was going to be a losing season, the streak is alive. So let's keep that up.
Win the parade, because we know that's your Super Bowl.
Whatever, man. When your Super Bowl is? Week 1?
Yeah, cool. We go party. Drinks in the house when y'all get there. Don't worry.
Then y'all beat the Pats week 1? That was your Super Bowl?
Yeah, we did. That was it. I'm cool with
that. Anyway, the defense actually is dropping, honestly, getting rid of Slay made defense better, I want to say, yo. Like, it was no play Slay. He had to go.
Samuel stepped up. Duggar stepped up.
Yeah, so that was good. Even without TJ, they're still playing. Gone if he'll be back or not. I like the game out the backfield. Catching the ball a bit. I like what Warren is showing. It will be tough without DK. I'm not gonna say it's not. I'm more on Jeff's side than Daryl's side with this. Daryl, Mr. Optimistic. He went to the fucking chip. Now he took everything. Sunshine and roses. So, but
it comes to beating the Browns. Like, his name right.
Browns defense is not bad. It's really good, actually.
Everything.
It's just tough, man. And like you said, Miles going for that sack record. Now, I do think we can get after Shedeur. Shedeur got more turnovers in the bakery, so I don't think he's bad. But the nigga throw picks every game, like it's like clockwork or whatever like that. So I think that he got a lot of learning to do again. But that's on another team like that. So I think we can get after him. We need one win, man. But I don't want it to come down to us and the Ravens in the last week. That's what I want it to come down to. Because now that's why I need Green Bay to knock them out. But I'm not counting my chickens like Daryl is, and predicting first round playoff opponents.
Week 1, with the schedule gonna be and everything. We're gonna travel the first week.
Right.
You're like, you know that we don't know.
With 2 whole weeks left, which is wild to me, or whatever. But I will say that was a classic Steeler win, and that's the reason to me they brought in Rodgers too, man. I feel like that. Again, he's obviously old, but he's smart, and we see smart quarterbacks, even old niggas like Phillip Rivers off the couch. You still got that pedigree. You know what I mean? We'll get to them later on, but you still can, you know what I mean, use your mind, even though you might not be as athletic as you once was. I still think Rodgers better than obviously Fields because he's a running back. You know, ever would have been.
At least 10 starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, and also Russ, I'm saying from last year, I think he's better than what they would have been. So, you know, I mean, we got next year to look at, but yeah, I feel like we're moving up. Moving on forward. Speaking of old quarterbacks, Niners blow out the Colts last night, and Jeff's lucky game with Brock Purdy with the 5 TDs. But Niners are now control their own destiny. If they went out, they will get the number 1 seed. They have 2 games left at home, and the Super Bowl is in San Francisco. So they can have no road games left at this point. So, Toby, now I'll start with that. What's your thoughts on the Niners and Colts?
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for this Niners team. Like, for them to be in this position, like, early in the year, I thought it was going to be cooked. Like, it's going to be start of a rebuild kind of situation with them, especially with the injuries, especially when it was really on the defensive side. Kittle, he was hurt early on as well. The whole Ayuk situation, yeah, Purdy too. The whole Ayuk situation was crazy. So this wasn't looking good. Like any other team, that would be the writing on the wall for them. But definitely shout out to Shanahan. Like he might not win Coach of the Year because some of these new upcoming Coach of the Years and coaches what they're doing early on in their career with the teams, but just him just to keep rallying the troops and just keeping that offensive side just locked in with backup quarter Mac Jones looking like Joe Montana some weeks, and really Salah coming back really has helped them a lot, especially with the injuries. Like he's the kind of coach, he's a player's coach. Like they gonna feed off his energy. You can just see every time on the sideline, the defense gets a play, he's right on the sideline with that energy. So him definitely coming back helped them a lot. And just another clean game from Brock Purdy. Like the past few weeks, he's been solid. Just making the plays. What he's brought himself to know to be, making the plays, getting the ball to the right place on time, getting the ball to McCaffrey, Kittle, the playmakers, Jennings. He's had like at least one touchdown like the last 5-6 games. Like they's doing what you need to do to win, especially this time of year. Definitely didn't see them being at this point, especially with 11 wins, especially in that division with the Hawks and Rams having the seeds that they have into, and for them to be in control, possibly the 1 seed is crazy. On the other side with the Colts, I got respect to Rivers too, for him to come in off the couch these last couple of weeks, especially this week, as far as like really having like a full week of preparation. 277 yards, 2 touchdowns for again basically not even thinking about being a quarterback a month ago. Definitely shout out to him. Just unfortunate for the Colts because they really bought in as far as for this year when they saw how well they started out, making a move for Sauce Gardner, giving away 2 first-round picks, and then now not knowing what the quarterback situation is now with Daniel Jones possibly going next year too. We got AR back, but not know what's going to happen there. So really they thought they was about to enter a new championship window, but now they got all these questions. So definitely unfortunate for them. But definitely I got to give respect to the Niners for them to get to this point. Number of respect for that.
Yeah. Jeff, your thoughts? No, Toby, your thoughts on that, man? Niners.
This is a routine win for the Niners. Probably the best coach in the league. I always said, I haven't been the biggest Brock Purdy fan, and still got to see him, win a bowl, I guess. But Mac Jones got in there and was looking like Joe Montana, like they were saying, like, come on, that their offensive scheme is just damn near unstoppable. They're hard to beat. So this, the way they started off this season with all the injuries, Brock Purdy out for weeks, not having the receivers. Jennings, when he came, he was out. The other boy, Purcell, whatever, he came, he was out. And they just grinded. The fact that they just kept winning, like this is a winning organization now. Like they're very good. Brock Purdy 5 TDs, 1 pick, impressive against Indianapolis and Indianapolis. But I was going into the game. I always thought 49ers were going to win, so I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that Brock Purdy threw 5 touchdowns. And that at the end of the day, they are in control of their own destiny. I guess the next game is against the Bears. I think that's not part of the pick'ems. I'm probably gonna pick them because they're at home and they're in control of their own destiny with the Seahawks at the last game. So, very overall impressive season for the 49ers because, the way their season ended last year, they continue to be that team that's always going to be in the running to try to get to the Super Bowl and be one of the best teams in the NFC. So, that's very impressive, and they're a great organization. The Colts, their season started off hot, Jonathan Taylor, but then it just crumbled. They lost Danny Jones. Jonathan Taylor started, not being as great, and now they got Phillip Rivers. And shout out to Phillip Rivers, man. He's coming up, hasn't played in like 5 years, threw 2 touchdown passes, had a pick at the end, but he was pretty solid, He's an old man. We all knew he was going to beat them, and he probably won't win a game. I got to look at their schedule, but he probably won't win a game. But just impressive to see that he could still come in this league and be effective. And just think about it. He has been out of the league for 5 years, and he's looked more effective than a lot of other quarterbacks. And that is bad. That's bad. And I think you're talking about the developments of quarterbacks in this league. Yeah, the developments of quarterback in this league is so trash. Because another game we're going to talk about, Malik Willis on the Packers. He looked better in that cameo with the Packers than he ever did with Tennessee, maybe at a game. Because in the NFL, they give up on quarterbacks too quick nowadays. I feel like the quarterbacks don't sit behind for a year, so they just overall they give them and they end up looking bad. But shout out to Rivers for coming and being productive still, not just coming in and throwing picks, completing passes, having multiple games over 150, 200 yards. So, shout out to Rivers.
Jeff, your thoughts, Niners, Colts, man. Both the Niners moving forward.
Man, I knew the Niners was gonna beat the brakes off the Colts here, man. Let's be for real, man. I'm gonna give you a couple of reasons. First of all, what's funny said I realized that I heard someone say is Rivers' health insurance was set to expire because it expires 5 years after you leave the league. So by coming back, his health insurance reset for all his kids. So, right? So that's good to go there. Listen, honestly, the 49ers, they ain't really they had the softest schedule all year. They had actually one of the softest schedules this year in general. The games they lost were playoff teams: the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Houston Texans, and the Los Angeles Rams. All the other teams: New Orleans Saints, the Cardinals twice, the Atlanta Falcons, the Giants, Cleveland Browns, Carolina, Tennessee, Indianapolis. All those teams trash. They had the easiest schedule all year. So it was only right that Kyle Shanahan was going to go out here and no matter what the quarterback was, like Toby always says, it's the system. The system is so good you can kind of plug and play anybody in there. So the game was really obsolete to me. Again, I knew the Niners were going to come out and lay it out on them. The thing with Rivers is, yeah, he coming out throwing yards, but you know what? He makes Jonathan Taylor so ineffective because they never go under center. All his plays are from shotgun. He doesn't take any plays from under center. Jonathan Taylor had 16 carries for 46 yards at 2.9 yards carry. He doesn't get the ball to him any stretch plays. He can't do any play action because they're never the threat to run the ball with Jonathan Taylor. That's why it doesn't work. That's why I think next week they're going to go back to Riley Leonard, the rookie guy, because he's healthy now. That's why he came in at the end of this game. And I think we're not going to see Rivers any further. I promise you. Mark my words. So, like I said, this game was, it was blah. It was whatever it was. It was good to see Purdy throw 5 touchdowns. The pick that he did throw wasn't his fault. The ball bounced off Bourne's hands. It was a little high, but it is what it is. But, at the end of the day, the 49ers beat the dog breaks off somebody they should have beat the dog breaks off.
No, I'm total opposite, Jeff. On Philly Rivers, man. I think that first of all, I think Taylor already fell off with Jones was there because they started loading the box because they knew Jones couldn't beat him, and they're doing the same thing. I feel like that whether it was Jones or Rivers, teams just say, "Yo, we're just gonna stop Taylor." You know what I mean? And I think that's what they're doing. I think what Rivers, like Toby is showing, is that like the developmental system. Reason why Rivers hasn't gotten hurt yet is because he's calling out the blitz because he can see it because he understands defenses. Where these young quarterbacks, they don't. so they don't see it coming. So they're throwing picks and they're getting all these sacks and shit. So what Rivers is doing is I'm calling out the hot rusher, and then I'm getting the ball quick. So I think for a nigga who was on his couch 2 weeks ago for 277 and 2 touchdowns, bro, that's crazy. Like I think that's good. Honestly, and I think he's better than AR, who we saw be trash for his first couple of years, Anthony Richardson. So, obviously he's not your full-time starter, nigga 44 years old. But Daniel Jones got an Achilles or whatever. He gonna be gone. You bring back Richardson? Like, I don't know. But anyway,
he might never play again because he got the orbital socket injury. They said his eye came out
from his own,
medical
advance. So who knows what they're gonna do? I don't know. But I would keep Rivers as a backup regardless. Maybe they bring in Mac Jones or something like that. But I would keep Rivers as a backup. I know you don't like him, man. But
he was 45 years next year, bro. 45.
He's smart though. I'm telling you, man.
He's done, bro. He's done.
First of all, the 49ers defense ain't the same since Warner went down. Like, they ain't been this. Bosa been down.
Robert, without Warner and Bosa, not the great, but Robert Saleh, like Daryl said, Robert Saleh be cooking, bro.
He can let the young guys play, man.
The young boys be playing, though. That's what I'm saying, like.
And they still give up 27. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, come on,
because of Phillip Rivers.
No, bro. He's trash, bro. He's trash, bro.
But again, I do want to say shouts out to Robert Saleh, bro. They've been playing some good defense throughout the year. Young guys, they got some young linebackers who will be coming and play, who want to develop even better for next year when Warren them get back. But Brock Purdy, again, I do know Mac played decently. He was 5-3 when Purdy was out. Had some up and down games, but it does show me why Purdy is the starter. You know what I mean? Because he actually does. He's a better player and he's more mobile. And despite what Daryl think, Purdy is better than your boy Bryce Young, Daryl. I don't care what you say, yo.
I'm just saying
same height.
No, Purdy was taller, actually, I think.
He said that.
Yeah.
And Toby, we know we ain't gonna mention Toby's name.
Yeah. So
Bryce Young will be doing the same thing Purdy doing.
That's all I said. Yeah, exactly. That's all I said.
No 5 touchdowns.
With McCaffrey and Kittle and Jennings, yeah.
Anyway. Speaking of McCaffrey, I want to shout out to him. He 150 yards away receiving, having 1,000, which only been done 3 other times. Once by him, once by Roger Craig, once by Marshall Faulk. So that's dope. They are using him to death, and normally when they do use him this much, the next season he have a bad season.
He already knows what's going.
So don't draft McCaffrey next year. But they going for it this year. Kittle's back. Jennings is back. Purdy's back, so they actually are going for it. They get their 1 seed, brought to all those injuries. I think I'm with Daryl. That's a great coaching job. Almost coaching a year.
The schedule was weak. Like I just ran all the teams that they.
But all the injuries they had, bro.
They played all weak teams, bro. Like all
49ers.
All weak
49ers have the most injured starters in NFL, bro. It's ridiculous how many games these
teams bro.
Facing against second string players. What the fuck? Like the 49ers have no players.
Mac Jones was a national champion, right? He
Did you say your boy Persall was out, right? You should know that.
He ain't really been doing much this season.
They beat the Panthers, bro. The Panthers is a solid team.
Ayuk was he was AWOL and shit like that.
Never came back.
Yeah, never came back. Kittle's missed like 5 games. Like, it's crazy, bro. We're gonna see how they do moving forward, but I like what they built. And if they get that home field advantage, now I don't see them making it to a Super Bowl in San Francisco. That'd be crazy, but
it happened twice before.
It has happened twice before.
Yeah, I thought the Raiders were gonna do it the next season, but
you ain't take that shit.
Because the Buccaneers had did it, then another team had did it. I said, hold up, we might do it too. Like, yeah, Derek.
That was just based on. It had nothing to do with the actual football.
It had based on teams who were hosting the Super Bowl. I thought that team was making.
That guy's hilarious, bro. I'm like Justin, man. Every year you say the Raiders go do some shit, and they don't do nothing.
Man, I could be like Jordan, cry when we not. Shout out to Jordan.
Shout out to Jordan, man. I couldn't put the Eagles on beating the Bucks. Who they beat? Commanders on this thing, man.
It doesn't even matter.
Bears.
Yeah.
Bears beat the
Packers.
Am I in the wrong week? Yeah, Bears beat the Packers in a game where Jordan Love went down, but We saw Caleb come back with an excellent throw overtime win. Jeff, start the time. Bears Packers. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's all I gotta say, man. That dude is really a chef, man. Like you said earlier about the Lions. I mean, he basically took the whole formula from winning there and brought it over here. And listen, the game was crazy good. When Malik Willis came in, he was cooking. He was scrambling. I mean, he was hitting on the lasers. I'm like, hold up. I know Malik Willis ain't ready to take down the Bears. And it ended up being a really good performance by him. And I mean, Josh Jacobs hasn't really been healthy. So they've been going to like Emmanuel Wilson. He had majority of the carries, which I don't know why they went away from. He was 14 carries for 82 yards. Keep giving that guy the ball, bro.
Yeah.
But this is a passing league. I know what the NFL wants to do. They want to see passing. People don't want to see the boring old school football. But in a division game, you got to keep grinding it out. And what really was kind of interesting is you gave Caleb the ball at the end, man. I mean, and you gave it to him. He's starting to look like he can cook a little bit, really.
Yeah.
And I think that I watched the throw for the touchdown. I said, remember 2 weeks ago when he played the Packers and he had that last.
It was short.
Shorter, yeah. He threw it on the money this time. So he learned his lesson. I like that about Caleb. He's learning from his events, his experiences in the NFL, along with Ben Johnson. They're getting really good. They got the dual running back playing is crazy, insane. Like I don't even know where the dude came from. I knew Swift. I don't even know where he came from. He just came out of nowhere. I mean, they lit. Moore got a touchdown this week. Finally, he had been gone MIA for a while. Roma Dunze was out, so I was expecting somebody. Loveland looked like he was progressing, even though I still feel like they should have took Warren over him, but he actually showed up a little bit, and honestly, the Bears defense, I mean, they had the most they had takeaways all crazy. They take the ball away from other teams. I had no interceptions from the Packers, so I wasn't sure if the Bears were going to be able to do anything. It came down to overtime. Caleb Williams looked like he's progressing into a professional NFL quarterback. He's got the good tutelage with Ben Johnson. They got the necessary weapons around. Hopefully they can figure out what's going on with the wide receiver thing if more stays or goes going forward. The defense is stout. They scary. They're the scary team and for me in the playoffs, but I don't have no faith in them. I just don't think Caleb's going to be.
You said all that shit to have no faith in them.
180 on them. Yep. I have no faith on them. They're scary because you don't know what you're going to get out of them, but I don't have faith. I can't say, I guarantee I can basically bank on the Bears beating someone in the playoffs. Okay. I don't feel that way. But that was a hell of a game against the Packers. Jordan Love, he's starting to be nicked up a whole lot, man. I don't know what's going on. Remember, he had the beginning of the year, he was injured. He got the concussion now. Listen, Malik Willis is not the answer. Let's keep it 1,000. He's just definitely not the answer. So I hope they get something figured out. But they've got to handle that this week. But that was a hell of a game. I love what I saw from Caleb Williams. He just showed his growth throughout the season. They've gotten better. He stopped trying to play that backyard thinking he was mini Mahomes. He's just actually running the plays that are in the playbook, looking for the options that are available, going to him with precision, accuracy, and he's getting the job done. It was a hell of a game, a hell of an overtime game. So I was excited about that when the Bears came out on top.
Yeah, Darryl, your thoughts on the Bears and the Packers, bro?
Yeah, another good prime time division game this week. It sucks that that injury to Loves was early because this would have probably been even better game. But I ain't putting too much of this injury on Love. It was a helmet to helmet injury. Can't really control that. It's not so. He'll be back. I mean, like I say, he's practicing this week, so he'll be straight. But definitely this is a great win for the Bears. Definitely like what I saw from Caleb. But I've been saying this whole year, like we're past couple years ever since he got in the league, like. Especially last year, he would take have a good game and then follow up with 2 bad weeks, and never really would that would really be his story. But I feel like from what he got to this point now, just that progression, and also just settling into Ben Johnson's system. Like I feel like it's not every, and I don't think it's every quarterback that's be capable of being good in the system, but taking the time to learn it, trusting it, and then now he just going out and field executing. And this game was definitely proof of that because. And the year I felt he was leaning on just Roma Dunze being the number one receiving option, and when he was out, Luther Burden would be that guy. So tonight I had both of those guys, and to have what's the name, DJ Moore step up, show a game like he's been capable of showing and throughout his career. I think it's a good sign. I like what they got. I like what y'all said. I like the 2 running backs. If they can get those other 2 receivers back healthy for the playoffs, that'd be great. But for the Packers, not really putting too much stock on this game for them. They still have a shot. Because of the Lions, they after this loss this week, put them. So really, they don't really have that much competition for that final wild card. spot. So really, other than the Panthers or the Bucks, but I don't think their record is good enough to get that wild card. So not too much. This loss didn't really hurt them that well, but I feel like the Bears needed this more for the confidence. Right before get a win, just like right before the playoffs, like a couple other teams got this week. But yeah, definitely like what I saw, especially from Caleb. That last throw at the end when they showed that angle. Where he after that throw, he put his hands back into his hand warmer. Like that's that confidence. I like that. Like a walk-off throw like that is a good sign for where he's at and what he's going to do going forward. And I believe in him. Like the confidence, especially the coaching too. Like if he didn't have this coaching staff behind him, it's really just him, all the pressure on him. Then yeah, but I think they're gonna lean in on his defense and the run game, and he's shown he can make plays in the clutch. So like what they got going for.
Yeah, I don't know, my boy. He was 19 for 34. I mean, that's why I don't know if I believe in the nigga. Like that's a terrible pass.
No matter most, he made the throw. So.
I hear you, but he could throw you out the motherfucker too. Like.
True.
Jeff is such a hater, bro.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we've seen him throw you out the game. Like.
Toby, what's your thoughts? But you had Caleb all year in fantasy. What's your thoughts?
Caleb was up and down, man. And, thank God for Ben Johnson because Ben Johnson saved him this year for sure. Helped him become a better quarterback. Helped him, not get in the way of himself. You know what I'm saying? Not making the unnecessarily bad throws. Consistently. This game would have been better with Jordan Love for sure, but Malik Willis, like I was mentioning earlier about quarterback development, he's been sitting behind now. Now he's getting his opportunity. He played decently. We have to see if he could do more in the future, but this is how quarterbacks are supposed to develop. This is how Jordan Love developed. But back to the game, Packers, I felt like we're in control for most of the game. And then the Chicago Bears started to turn up in the fourth quarter out of nowhere, just like the Seahawks did. But what changed the game was the onside kick. I think it was Romeo Doubs that lost the ball in the onside kick. Chicago gets the ball back, boom, field goal, overtime, win. And that's how it ends. So I remember Jeff was just praising the Bears all earlier, but then he said he don't trust the Bears. The reason he don't trust the Bears is because of Caleb Williams. He's a solid quarterback, and I believe he's good, but, this season showed me that he can be good. I need to see him be great. And maybe the playoffs will bring those opportunities. But Ben Johnson is another. I remember when he was out there, I wanted him, because I was like Mike Tomlin, it might be time to go. I was open to Ben Johnson because I felt like he was a great, offensive mind, and he's showing that, with the Bears. They got the two running backs, they got some decent receivers out there. Caleb Williams, he's growing in the right direction. He's making improvements. So. We'll see what happens. I think the Bears are on top of that division now, so they probably they play the 49ers next, so that's gonna be a good game right there. You know what I'm saying? Even though I probably will pick the 49ers, that'll be a good game for Caleb to show that he could win on the road in San Fran against another good team. But overall, a good game. Another comeback that I didn't see coming, just like the Seahawks came back on the rim. I didn't see the Chicago, coming back. When Love got out, I was like. The Bears could definitely come back and win this, but then they had to get that onside kick. If they don't get that onside kick, they lose. So, shout out to the Bears. They're another team that's having a surprisingly good season with their new head coach and Caleb Williams. So, good game overall. I enjoyed it. Shout out to Malik Willis, like Jeff talked about earlier. I felt like that performance was probably the best he's looked in the NFL.
Nate, Caleb?
No, Malik Willis. Okay.
Yeah, Caleb's had better games than that. But yeah, first of all, the Bears defense played pretty good too. I know Jeff, you was saying Packers left some points on the field, but they definitely wouldn't let them get TDs, which I thought the Bears defense did good with that. I thought that and they've been playing pretty good all year. That tie right now is looming real bad against the Packers with the Cowboys earlier this season. Being a 9-5-1 for the division and also for the playoff seeding right now. Ties always come back to bite you, in the NFL. So they never work out good. I think that I like so for the Packers. Love can be back great. He's the go-to guy, but Willis can play, man. And also he added a dimension. He had 44 yards in like half the game and shit like that rushing. Love don't run the ball. It's my one knock against Love. A little bit. I think he's so athletic that he should run the ball more than he actually do. Take off where Malik is like, bitch, I'm out. If you don't got this shit going on. So I kind of like that shit a little bit. With Caleb got wheels too, and Caleb, I think he's getting better and better. I think he had second year QB. I think the first year obviously had a horrible coaching staff. I think he's in the 16th game being with Ben Johnson. He's getting better and better. I feel like I think you put Caleb on the run. He's pretty damn good when he on the move. But he can make all the throws. So I think he'll just get better. Like you said, Jeff, the two-headed running back. I think Vidal's a rookie. I think and Swift, they catch the ball in the backfield. They're a good two-headed monster running back, yo. And their offensive line, they get a push almost every running play, yo. Like they will run that ball. I think they lead the league in rushing. I'm pretty sure. So
I think they constructed that in the offseason too.
They gotta worry about the running. Niners gotta worry about the running the ball next week. But again, at 11-4, I would have never predicted they'll be 11-4 this season. The Bears at the beginning of the season. So I'm definitely surprised about that. And beating the Packers this week. They beat the Eagles. They blew out the Eagles damn near this year. So yeah, shouts out to Caleb and the Bears, man, for a good second season. Playoff wise, if they run the ball like they've been, I will trust them. I don't trust them just say, drop back 35, 40 times. No. But, keeping that running game going, playing defense, I don't know why they couldn't beat anybody in the NFC except for the Rams, maybe. You know what I mean? I won't say that. But I do think Ben, he's young too, Ben Johnson. So Caleb will grow with Ben Johnson, which will be really, really good. So I kind of like that. And the Packers, man, they were talking about winning a Super Bowl at one point. They lost Micah now. They're 9-5-1. Like, yeah, back in the playoffs. It's like a bad turnaround for them, man. They lost Kraft, like Toby said. Those been like a tough season for them. A season to learn from, obviously. But with Love, like you said, Jeff, he be in and out the lineup a lot sometimes. So you gotta see what he can do. Moving on forward, man, to the last topic was the Panthers. They beat up on the Bucks to move ahead in that division. Let's talk about that game, Daryl.
We gotta start calling them Daryl's Panthers.
You know what's crazy? They were Daryl's Falcons. He switched on the Falcons.
I know.
Anything to take down Shake and Bake. Whoever does it.
Whoever does it.
But yeah, it was a good game. I mean, the reason why I picked the Bucks because, like, what everybody thought, like, throughout the entire year, like, they had those injuries, but we all felt as soon as they got those guys back, they hit the ground running. But this game, I thought this was going to be an example of that. This game for sure, especially in a division game where they had to have it to take control. And for whatever reason, this team just hasn't been able to put together. Really on the defensive side, over the past few weeks, we saw the coach Todd Bowles call out that side. Never see him speak up or talk about a team like that. That was a bad sign. But just I thought this was gonna be a get. That's why I picked the Bucks as well, because after getting called out like that, I thought the team was gonna step up, gonna be like a get right game type of situation. But no, we just didn't see it. Good defense from the guy. Give credit to the Panthers. Good defense. And Bryce, he was making the plays. Baker, I feel like he was getting pressured a lot throughout the game and wasn't really in sync with all the playmakers he got back. Bucky Irving, this was the best game coming back, but it's really just when it mattered most, Bryce Young, he took care of the ball, made the right plays. T-Mac, he had a great game, following up with a solid rookie year so far. Dotto, he's been quiet, but I feel like him and Truba, like they starting to kind of do a 1-2 punch with him. Both of those backs now. Actually, Dotto, he kind of went off earlier in the year, kind of slowed that down. Now it's a 1-2 punch. But like what I saw from the Panthers, I still feel like they're truly a year or two away from truly like consistently competing in the division as far as getting more weapons for Bryce Young. But it was a very important win for Bryce Young. Like I said, I'm not thinking he's going to get like one of the highest top contracts, but he kept himself a starting quarterback for the Panthers this year. As far as they're going to give him opportunity, I feel like this coaching staff, they believe in him. This new coach staff, NGM, I feel like they believe in him and they're going to work with him. So they give him a 2-year deal just to keep building and see where they're at. But definitely a good win for them. Now they're in control for the division. They got this confidence, beat this team at home. Now I feel like they can go on the road and do the same, especially with for the Bucks. They had all their weapons, really the defense, and not being able to take advantage of getting their weapons back was the issue for them. And I could see the same thing happen in a couple weeks as far as Panthers getting that another win and wrapping that division and hosting a playoff game for them.
All right, Toby, your thoughts on the Panthers Bucks, man?
Surprising season, surprising game as well. I think I picked the Panthers because it was at home, but the Panthers have a sneaky good defense. I think you said the last segment you talked about the Bears have a good defense. The Bears have a very good defense, and the Panthers also have a very good defense. They're sneaky. They get turnovers, they get sacks. Bucks have all their weapons, so now Baker's back. They got their running backs. They got all their wide receivers. Imuka only had one catch. So I feel like the wide receiving spot, they have to probably get rid of Godwin or Mike Evans because that's going to propel Emeka to be like the number 1 or 2 option. That's probably affecting them. I feel like Baker had a okay game, but like I said, he went against a good defense. The Panthers overall, they have the run-in, they have the passing when Bryce Young is on. Like when Bryce Young is good, he can make clutch plays. He can be there in the clutch. This season has shown us that he can be, he can be good. He can be an all right quarterback. When the chips are thrown, when all the chips are laid down there. So definitely a very impressive win. I don't know if the division is locked up yet. I got to look at their schedule because I'm not even sure who they played the last 2 games. There, I'm not sure if since you supporting your man.
These two, they play again in a couple weeks.
Or they play again in a couple weeks in Tampa Bay. So that'll be a huge game depending on what happens this weekend coming up. But definitely a good win for the Panthers. They've been impressive this season. When's the last time the Panthers been good? Since like 2015 with Cam Newton. Like we're talking about 10 years.
Super Bowl, yeah.
You're talking about 10 years. So this whole season has just been crazy and very impressive what the Panthers are doing. Maybe they can build up on this, but the season's not over. They still have to win. Maybe at least the next game. The next game is going to be very important for them. But, I feel like when Bryce Young hasn't been his best, that defense has stepped up a lot. And this week, Bryce Young stepped up. He made the plays he needed to make. Baker started off hot. I remember earlier people were saying like, "Oh, he MVP. He won MVPs." Then he got hurt, but even before he got hurt, he started to slow down a little bit. Like 2 or 3 games before he got hurt, he started to slow down. And now he might not even make the playoffs. We need shake and bake in the playoffs. And you can't let Bryce Young beat you out that playoff spot. That'll be some nasty work right there. So we'll see how the next few weeks go. But definitely a good win for the Panthers. They've been sneaky a lot this season.
Jeff, your thoughts on the game?
It was a trash game. Both these teams garbage. I mean, the Panthers the Panthers just lost to the Saints last week. They lost to the Saints both times this season. They're ass.
I'm with Jeff on that.
Yeah, bro. Like Panthers is trash. Like come on, man. Bryson had 3 games over 200 yards this whole season. He's duty, man. This was just a filling up the calendar. I don't know why they even did this shit. This week, the Seahawks come to Carolina, and then the Buccaneers play the Miami Dolphins. This game is whoever wins the NFC South is food in the playoffs.
First round exit.
Yeah. First round exit. Thanks for showing up. We need to take this.
I agree.
Come on, man. This was terrible, man. I mean, look, Bowles probably needs to be fired. Evans probably retire. Bake needs somebody else. He needs an offensive minded. This defense was not even that great all season. Honestly, that's just crazy.
Yeah, it was Todd Bowles' job.
The defensive guy. Yeah. So
it was terrible.
You know what I'm saying? They had the injuries. They had Bucky go out for a while. The other dude was Rashad White. He's obviously not it. So you got to figure that out. Like I said, I would let Mike Evans retire. Find some guys on defense. As far as the Panthers go. Shit, just go get Mac Jones, man. Get Bryce out of here, man. Like if you go roll on somebody, you might ride on a 6'4" quarterback instead of a 5'4" quarterback. You got a better shot at it. At least you got a number 1 receiver. You got to figure out the running back field. I mean, again, this is all postseason stuff for them. Not postseason, but off-season stuff. Both of these teams, because neither one of them are going to make any noise. But it was a division game. It is what it is.
Man, I agree with so much what Jeff said, man. I feel like that, Bowles' job was defense, and when the offense was struggling, when they were down all those people, the defense was giving up 30, 40, hella points or whatever like that. I think that But when we talk about the Panthers, though, yeah, I agree. I mean, if they make it, so be it. But they'll be out in the first round. If they face Bryce, that'll be the biggest mistake they make as an organization. You know, if you want to give him a year as a stopgap, maybe what Bryce gonna win you, bro? At the end of the day, so I feel like that's just not smart. And it's a lot of hell. Malik Willis better than Bryce Young. To be honest with you, like I'll take a bunch of guys.
A dual threat quarterback, I'll take him over Bryce easy.
Yeah, wow, man.
Bro, Bull got 3 200-yard games
Yeah,
this whole season.
bro,
Like, come on.
Wow,
I'm not a Bryce Young fan either, but to say Malik Willis is better, and he
He can run.
he drives, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, you're
Take off. Like,
yeah. I would say he's so small, man. I just don't like that about him. With the Bucks, man, Baker did start off hot. I think the injuries played a part, and then they all came back too late. I agree with that. Either way, getting rid of Mike Evans. I feel like that Mike, he can't stay healthy now for a full season. About to break his streak any goddamn way. And then you kind of like Ibuka can't shine because when they were out, Ibuka was killing.
oh,
And then Evans started coming back. Then Godwin coming back or whatever. Godwin missed like a year and a half. So he off on the offense. But one more thing people are not talking about, yo, the Bucks OC. Like, you know, the Bucks OC last year, Liam Cohen, right? And you see what he doing. They didn't replace Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen, and see what he's doing for Sunshine now, right? So the Bucks are regressing because they don't have a good OC. The dude they brought in there, he was there already, but he's not a good OC material. That will tell you how good an OC can be for you. They really should try to keep Cohen and got rid of Bowles, low key.
yeah,
But Cohen not did. Now they got Bowles. He's not doing anything. Defense getting older in the tooth or whatever like that. So I don't know where they go from here, honestly. But I think that I'll let their OC, but I would definitely let Ibuka and Irving and Baker kind of build around that for the offensively and see what happens. I agree with you, Jeff. I think the Seahawks trashed the Panthers this week. I think the Bucks can beat Miami. They're going to go down to the last game regardless of whatever like that. But it don't really fucking matter because for whatever win the division, they'll get a home game, best they can get because they won division, but probably be a first round exit. So that's
definitely be a first round exit, not probably.
Yeah. That's
man,
my
like that's
I don't know why y'all like Bryce,
division of
bro. That's
football,
wild.
man. That's crazy.
I mean,
Yo, the Panthers have gone. They win, loss. 4 straight, like 8 weeks straight, like win,
Yeah,
loss.
lose to the Saints twice is nasty work, bro.
Crazy.
Yeah.
With Tyler Shook.
Who? That's what I'm saying. Like,
Who?
you playing all right, man.
I say, oh, he's playing out here right now.
Oh,
Yo,
there you go.
You just like big quarterback.
NFC South Daryl. Like,
Yeah, right. Exactly. He loves NFC South, bro.
Damn.
He loved them big quarterbacks in NFC South, bro. That's crazy, bro. All right, man. Updated power rankings 1 through 5 end of the season. So it's week 16, so good time to do it. Who got the power rankings 1 through 5? Anybody y'all can go for that, man.
1 through 5.
I'll start.
All right, go ahead.
Just for right now, I got Pats 1, I got Jags at 2,
Oh, okay.
I got Rams 3, I got Bears 4, and Niners 5.
That's a different. Okay. Jeff, Toby.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Pats, but then I'm going Rams second. And then I'm going Seahawks, even though I know. I'm going Rams.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. I'm going Rams third. Then I'm going with the Jags, and then I'm going with the Eagles. Let me back up. I'm gonna go with Denver, then the Eagles.
That's 6. They get the fuck.
Nah, no, it's not. New England, the Rams, Seattle, Denver, Eagles.
Okay. What about the Jags?
Nah, I can't. Even though I know they just beat them, I don't know.
Okay. All right. Toby.
Number 1 team in the NFL. I'm going to go.
Anybody
Right.
but.
You don't want to go?
Don't.
Let me see. Who am I gonna go with? Let me go.
About a team that's 7-0 on the road. Are they undefeated on the road?
I'm gonna go. To me, the best team in the NFL. I'm gonna go Rams number 1.
Okay.
Rams number 1. Number 2, I'm gonna go Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
Number 3,
This dude.
I'm gonna go. Number 3, I'm gonna go New England. Number
Okay.
4, Seattle. Number 5, Jaguars.
Okay, I like that. I'm gonna echo your thoughts on the Rams. Actually, I think they're the most complete team, even despite that loss. I'm gonna,
sussy.
yeah, it can be. I'm gonna go with, but you like Jared Verse or whatever like that. Like they all right
Dude,
though.
it's just ain't no corners. You line don't get no pressure if there ain't no corners.
I'm gonna go with the Pats at 2. I'm gonna go with the Jags at 3, and I gotta put the Broncos at them because Jags just beat them, in my opinion. Like Happy Jordan I heard because nobody said the Eagles in the top 5. So
I named it 5.
oh, you did 5, yeah. We were on that. That's crazy too, Jeff. By the way, but that's time.
All right.
MVP rankings. Daryl, you want to talk about it earlier? What you got? 1, 2, 3, man.
Yeah, man. A lot of confirmation this week. I got May at 1, Stafford 2, and a new entry. I got Trevor Lawrence at 3.
Okay.
This guy crazy. Like, send me my money now. I know he's said Trevor Lawrence. That's
He's
crazy.
up there, bro.
Yeah.
Having a good season.
Bro.
He's having a good season.
Like 12 wins now?
MVP?
11 wins. Yeah.
Top
11 wins.
top 4, top
Quarterback.
5.
He means you
Top
take
four,
him
top
off, he can't. The team goes down.
They would go down.
Nah,
Yeah, I'm not getting 11 wins.
bro.
What you got?
So I mean, I'm gonna go with Drake. I'm gonna go with Drake, Stafford, and Allen.
Okay.
Who's
All
made
right.
this game?
Okay, so I'm gonna go Stafford first though. Stafford. Then I'm gonna go Drake May. Then Allen.
Stafford, Drake, Allen. All right. And I'm with Stafford. I still got Stafford at the top, man. Then I go with Drizzy Drake. And then I would probably go I would have to go with Allen on that too. Yeah.
Nobody else.
Yeah. Because you know why? I know I like Sunshine, but really like the last 4 or 5 games. First half of the season, he was real shaky.
Yeah, he was real bust.
Yeah. I don't say bust, but he was definitely shaky on that.
Yeah.
All right, man. Jeff, what's up with the pickups from last week, man?
All right, so going into the week, I led the league 33-15. Justin and Mike behind me 29-19. Toby and Jordan Daryl was 27-21, and then Toby and Jordan was 26-22. We picked on the Carolina Panthers and the Buccaneers, Seahawks and the Rams, Denver and Jags, Detroit and Pittsburgh, and New England, Baltimore. So me, Justin, and Toby took Carolina. Everybody took the Hawks except for me. I took the Rams. Everybody took Denver. We all got smoked. Everybody took Detroit. We got smoked. And me and Jordan took Baltimore, and New England won. So after that week, we got I'm still leading. I only won 1 game this week, 34-19. Justin is 32-21. Mikey 31-22. Toby and Daryl 29-24, and Jordan 27-26.
All right. 2 more weeks for this.
2 more weeks for this.
Houston and the Chargers, Eagles and Bills, and Seahawks and Panthers. According to Jeff. Go ahead, Daryl. Pick your Panthers. What you got, man?
Wait, it was 4 games, right?
Yeah, it is.
It was? There's one more?
Oh, one job, bro. One job.
What was the other game?
One job. Other game was the
Niners.
Bears. Yep, Bears and Niners.
All right,
So-
Bears and Niners.
Give me Niners. Give me Chargers. I don't like how Houston struggled with the Raiders last week. Give me Eagles, and then give me Hawks.
You got it, Jeff?
Just put it in the chat. It's easier. We'll do it on wax.
All right, put it in the chat, Daryl. All right. Toby, what you got, man?
Okay, Eagles versus Bills. Bills are at home. Give me the Bills, man. Give me the Bills at the crib. Seahawks versus Panthers. Who's at home? Panthers. Oh man. I'm gonna go Seahawks, man. I'm gonna go see. I wanna pick the Panthers just because they're at home. And
I do too a little bit.
I don't know, man. I just think the Seahawks are gonna. I just think they're gonna win.
I
They
think
come
Darnold
forward,
going to throw
but
it to
I
Michael
don't
Jackson
know.
3 times.
I just feel like I don't know. They're not gonna win, man. What's the rest of the game? Houston and Chargers in
Such a
San
tough one,
Diego. Damn, who won the first matchup?
They only play each other
Or-
once.
They only play two. No,
They in separate divisions, bro.
they are. Yeah, they are.
Ain't not in San Diego either, in LA, but that's
Oh, yeah.
Giving our viewers bad intel.
Let me go. Fuck. This is gonna be a good game. Saturday game. I'm gonna go Texans, man. I'm going Texans.
All right.
Texans with that, yeah. I'm going Texans. Bears and Niners. Give me Niners.
Yeah, Mike. Since I'm on top, you gotta go first.
I got it. I'm waiting for Toby. He been for 6.
What else? Who would I pick? I picked.
You picked everybody. You picked Hawks.
You done.
You picked
You
Buffalo. You picked Chargers. You picked Niners.
Yeah. I picked everybody.
Put it
I'm
in the
gonna
chat
put
too, bro.
Yeah, I'm about to.
All right. I'm gonna go Texans. I'm gonna go because I might switch that up. But I'm gonna go Bills. I'm gonna also go Seahawks because Bryce Young. And that Bears could probably get them, yo.
Yo,
right. Bears
that was a trick jaw right there. Like, hold
That's what
on.
I'm saying, yo. Bears can get them jokers, man.
It's not cold weather. It's nice warm outside.
Right now, I'm gonna go with the Bears, man. On that. So, what you got?
All right, I'm
Put it
going
in
with the
chat.
Niners, Chargers, Eagles, and the Seahawks.
Niners, Chargers, Eagles. Oh, I'm gonna start calling you Eagle fan at this point. I don't like that. So.
Listen, I just think they might play, man.
All right, I got you. I think they played 2 cupcakes and now they're playing a real team. So I feel like
Yeah, I think them 2 cupcakes might have warmed them up. You got one cupcakes up. Yeah,
I'll put it in the chat. I might switch up for get to the chat. But anyway,
yeah, me too. I might
Thank
switch it after. I'll let you know Thursday night. What's up?
right. Hey, anyway, thank you all for coming on. Shouts out to Jordan for missing the show. She'll be back next week, which will be at a couple days for the new year. Last show of the year will be next week. Thank you. Not the season, but last show of the year. I meant. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, Jeff. And again, congrats for the final. We'll announce who won that next week. Good luck to both of you in the fantasy league. And thank you, Toby, for coming on. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.
All right. Peace, guys.
Peace
Fuck
out.
out there.
You too. Happy Merry Christmas, guys.
I'm a Muslim, man. I ain't doing that shit, nigga.
Man, all right. Peace, nigga. You good? All right.